Peace from within and from without are deeply connected, because every person has to find the peace within, and if enough people do so, there will be peace without. I know that if I get agitated, that immediately spills over to my family, and naturally so. And the other way around, if I come in and say, hey, let's have some fun, that naturally spills over to the whole family, and rightly so. The same if you get into work, if you meet people, or just if you're even with yourself. The way you think generates the way you feel. The way you feel is the way you act. Thinking into results, right? So if you want to think peacefully in order to feel peaceful and be peaceful from within, and even if it's just for yourself, because these days are really hard for some. So that's the work that you can do. And even that they were and are peace activists advocating for peace, or they use the terminology fighting for peace, so you cannot fight for peace because fighting is not peaceful. Also, there are elections now here in Switzerland, and so there is this word Wahlkampf, like the fight to be elected. Why should it be a fight? How about calling it something like, I'm here to create? I'll come up with a good word for that. But anyways, the way you show up in this world creates a ripple effect. And I guess that if we are connected, you are most probably a peaceful person too. So we have to create that ripple effect. And there are people deeply, deeply traumatized. And in my yesterday's video, I also already explained how it's much easier to act from anger and to ask for revenge and blame the other, etc., than to just find peace first within, with the circumstances, and then ask, what can I do for the peace, right? And sometimes you'll really have to sort out things. Like, watch my video from yesterday. There is so much about making also the hard decisions that are not easy, sometimes hard, sad, difficult, because there are things that you will have to start from scratch. If you built your house on a foundation that's not good, there needs to be a new foundation. And I'm not saying you personally, but that's what we perhaps as a society have to do. So the pattern, the peace pattern, is from inside out, like anything else as well. Also, anger is from inside out, right? You first feel it, and then it bursts out, and then the sparks spills over to others. So it's you and me, and every one of us that has to first find peace within in order to find peace in this world, or to create it. And those people who ridicule me wanting to find peace or raise their eyebrows, which I definitely I understand. I used to see myself as a fighter for peace, until I understood that this fight is an inner fight to fight my destructive thoughts. Obviously, when I saw the pictures at first, there were ugly thoughts in my head, in my mind, and so my, let's say, fight was to fight those thoughts and to think very carefully what I want to think and how do I want to express my feelings, so that they are aligned with my values, so the values don't change. And I think that's perhaps a very good start to just reconsider, what are your values? What do you stand for? And then just ask yourself, are your feelings aligned with those values? You know, let go of everything that's happening around the world. Are your statements, are your words, are your feelings in alignment with what's happening, like with the values that you stand for? I think that's a very important inner work that we have to do. So when you have a discourse with someone that is not in agreement with you and that cannot right now find peace, which again is understandable sometimes, it does show and mean that they are hurt, they are scared, they are in need for healing. And until this healing won't happen, they cannot let go of that inner protection to not be hurt that way anymore, to not have to fear. Because as long as people fear, they will put up all the protections in their arsenal to keep themselves safe, and we cannot blame them for that. That's the most natural thing we should do. Human do. Everyone does. So all the negative thoughts, feelings, beliefs that we consider, like at least people with a humanitarian perspective, we consider as negative, come from hurt. So there is a long way to go to heal that hurt. And I hear you and I feel you. And I love to guide you. That's what we're going to do here. I had announced for December a happiness challenge. And even though I think we should definitely be happy, maybe I'll redo it into Find a Peace Within challenge. I will still have to think about that. Right now I'm just sharing my thoughts with you, and if you need help, if you want to find what is hurting you and how you can heal, reach out. You're not alone. You don't have to do this alone.